I know what I want to cook. Oh my God. I just thought about it. Hi guys, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Dominique. Today's show is all about my loaded stuffed pork chops. I'm so excited, and it's the most awesome meal that you can make for your family, for your loved ones, for your boo, for your husband, your spouse, whoever it is. If you're trying to create a restaurant experience, this is what you need to make at home. I'm so excited. It's awesome. I can't wait to show you how it comes together. Let's get it started. So what we're going to do first is we are going to open up our pork chops so that we could put our spinach and butter and garlic amazingness inside of it. And then we are going to sear it on both sides and place it in the oven. And it is going to be the most amazing experience that your kitchen has ever had in life. It's like Thanksgiving times 10 on steroids. It's exciting. So what I did first, guys, is as you can see, I have two that I did already. What I did for this one is you just simply get your knife and run it through the side where the fat is. And you want to make sure that your pork chop is thick enough to stuff it. You know, you don't want thin pork chops, you know. So this is like kind of dangerous, but you gotta handle this pork chop. You're going to open it up right here. You're going to stick the knife in and you want to just wiggle it. When you wiggle the knife, then you'll slowly be able to get inside of it to create that open. And you want to go all the way to where this bone is. That is going to allow for ample room for the stuffing. So probably going to be able to talk and open this at the same time because I want to make sure that I don't slice my hand off. Okay, and if you open it on the other side, it's perfectly fine. And then you're going to run your knife along the fat to get that open like so. And if you need, you could kind of put your finger in there to kind of gauge how much is open. Okay, so we got a good space inside of it. So now that gives me the confidence that I can open up this part a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now all three pork chops are open. I'm going to wash my hands really quick and we're going to get started on the stuffing. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is to make our garlic and butter and spinach mix for the stuffed pork chops. Is, as you can see in this bowl, I have about half of a cup of butter. And then I have 5, you can use 4 to 5 garlic cloves. I like mine really garlicky. And we are just going to do like a little, like a rough mince. It's fine. Okay. You just kind of, you know, when you're mincing and crushing multiple cloves of garlic, it's just best to do the gather method. Don't cut one garlic at a time. Just chop them, bring them back together, and work your knife in there. So that's done. We're going to add that to the butter. And then in here, I have some spinach. And I have, I wouldn't recommend using baby spinach because it wilts so fast. I would use the big spinach, and we're just going through it and getting some ribbons in this because we want to make sure that each pork chop gets ample amount of spinach, butter, and garlic stuffing inside of it. You can also do this with chicken. You could get some turkey breast if you want as well. Chicken breast, that works as well. I literally one day I was trying to recreate like a restaurant experience at home, as I always am, because I just believe that you don't have to
just try to go over again from
yes.
Try to create the restaurant experience in that sentence.
Okay. So I was trying to recreate the restaurant experience and just see if I can achieve that at home with some of the fancy stuff that I've seen out at different steakhouses and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, I want to stuff these pork chops. I'm adding a little bit of salt to the mix and then some pepper. And I had these huge bone-in pork chops at home. And then I had all this spinach and butter and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to open up these pork chops, sear them on both sides, and all with the herb butter, the spinach, the butter, the garlic, and all that stuff. And I'm just going to play with it and see if I can achieve that. And I did. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be on rotation at home. Putting a little bit of lemon juice in it. What that's going to do is cut through that garlic to make sure that it's not as potent. And we're just going to mix this around until the butter and the spinach and garlic is thoroughly combined. So that's perfect. Kind of looks like spinach and artichoke dip. It's kind of what you want it to look like. So that's done. Got my pork chops cut over here and they are ready to be seasoned. So I just got some seasoned salt, and you want to liberally season these on both sides. So when you are searing meat, one thing I noticed is that if it's not salty enough on the outside, it's going to be hard to achieve that sear, because you want that salty crust on the outside of your pork chops, your steaks, whatever meat it is that you have. Pepper. And back to salt. Ooh, gotta use my other hand because I touched the meat with this one. Never go back into seasoning. And so I've always used the second hand. No cross contamination. You don't want any raw meat juices going through other stuff. That's how people get sick. Okay, so that is done. Seasoned well on both sides. And it looks like it's a lot of salt, but it's not. You want that crust to really go in there. Okay, so now I have my mix. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the opening and just use my hands and go in there and just stuff it. This is why you want to make sure that that opening goes all the way to the bone section of your pork chops. Okay. And keep in mind, it's going to seem like it's so much spinach, but it's not. Spinach, it wilts down so much. And especially since we're searing both sides. And then we're going to put these in the oven. That's why you don't want to use, I wouldn't recommend using baby spinach for this. Because it will really get lost in the middle. And we don't want that to happen. And this is a messy job, guys. Hence why I wore my apron today. Okay. And all that butter is just gonna, oh my God. I mean, come on. Butter is flavor, guys. Flavor and moisture. Okay, and oh, I love this when I am measuring, or as you can see, I don't believe in measuring. I just believe in kind of like following my intuition and my gut. And just kind of like playing around with, you know, amounts of garlic and spinach and stuff like that. And I love it when I end up having the right amount of things. Okay, so that is done. And then anytime you have any extra, just see which one needs a little bit more to it. Okay. And what I have right here is a toothpick. I'm just gonna do one toothpick per pork chop. You don't really need two because when you sear it, it's gonna really close that in. We're just using this so that majority of the spinach doesn't run out. We want that to stay in. We want this to be a one-pan meal. So then we could just eat the pork chop and the spinach and not have to worry about any side dishes. So I'm gonna get cleaned up really quick. Okay. All right, and so now I am going to put my cast iron skillet. Again, cast iron because cast iron equals flavor. Oops. And it makes it to where we can achieve a perfect sear on both sides. So we're gonna wait until this gets really smoking hot. And why? Because I don't want to put the pork chops in here before it gets hot enough. So use that time to go clean up really quick or do something. Let that get hot. We don't want the pork chops to get in there and then it ends up rubbery. We want dark sear on both sides. So I'm going to get a little bit of cleaning up done, and then we're going to get these seared on both sides and add the herbs and the shallot and the sauce, and it's just going to be amazing. All right, so my pan is screaming hot and the pork chops are ready to go in, so we can sear it for 3 minutes on each side. Okay, so I got one. Make sure you back away. Remember, we're going to do 3 minutes on each side. And you want to leave this alone. Don't mess with it until your sear is perfect. We want to make sure that there's complete sear and coverage on both sides of this. And don't worry if extra spinach and butter gets in the pan. We can just add that back in on the side when we flip it. So, if you're one of those kind of people who like to mess with food prematurely, get your phone, get an alarm, get a timer, whatever it is that you need to do, and set it for like 3 to 4 minutes. Because the worst thing you can do with meat that you want to be perfectly seared and tender is flip it before it's done. And that's just going to ruin it. That's just going to make it like tough and not cooked right. And the purpose of the sear on both sides is to capture in the tenderness and the juice and all that yumminess. So don't be tempted. Just let it do its thing. All right. So now it's been about 3 minutes and we are ready to flip the pork chops. And what we're going to notice is that there's going to be full coverage of browning on the other side. And that's what we want. We want it to be throughout the whole thing instead of like pockets, you know. So yeah, so we're going to flip it. That is what we want. Look at that. We want that crustiness on both sides. Yes. And remember when we liberally salted it, what happens is it, that also helps with the crust as well. And we're not letting any of this butter go to waste. We're just going to put it like so on top. Okay, look it. I mean, this screams steakhouse. Like, who needs to go to, you know, I don't want to say the names, but we all know those famous steakhouses. And how much does it cost to go there? 5 arms, 3 legs, right? I'm telling you, this was less than $20 to make. The 3 pork chops were $12. The butter is like maybe what, $4? Garlic, shallot, spinach, and herbs. You already have that. You know, save your coins. So we're gonna do, so this is perfectly getting seared on both sides. I'm gonna put this in the oven at 400. And we're gonna put it in the oven for 20 minutes. But turn off your oven first. Turn off your stove first. Oops. Okay, so it's in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And remember, we just seared it simply on both sides for 3 minutes. And that was it. Don't go any further than that. That's all you need, 400. And this is why you want to make sure that your cast iron skillet is screaming hot so that it's ready. We want the pan to be ready. Now we don't want to get the pork chops ready. You know, we want to make sure that everything is ready to go. This is to make sure that things cook easy and that it's on the table within a reasonable amount of time. So 20 minutes from now, and we have our perfectly amazing pork chops. I cannot wait. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes and our pork chops are perfectly done, guys. Ooh, they smell amazing. I'm telling you, the secret ingredient to restaurants in their fancy smanchy ways is butter. It's really all you need. Look at. Okay. Oh, look how tender that is. Oh my God, it's like falling apart. I love it. We're just gonna plate these on our platter. Look at that juice. You guys. I mean, seriously. Look what we achieved. I say we because I'm including you in this because I believe that you can achieve this as well and that it's not hard. You could do this. All right, so I got a fork to hold down the pork chops so I can take out the Q-tips. Okay. All right, so that's done. And then what I'm going to do is pour all this yummy sauce over the pork chops. No sauce is left behind, guys. I want all of that on top of this. Look at. You can save some in the pan for people who like theirs extra saucy. And grab our rosemary and our shallots. Okay. Just gonna put that on it. And we're just gonna finish with tons of parsley. Look at that, guys. Look what we did. How much would this have cost at like Ruth's Chris or Prime Rib? Or we all know the places like this that cost at least $100 a person. But we did this at home. You can do it. Okay, guys, so it is time to taste this. And what I wanted to show you guys is how when you cut into the pork chop, how the spinach and garlic and butter situation, it's so succulent and amazing. Like, you seriously have to make this. Send the kids to grandma's and make this and have an amazing, oh my God, guys, you guys, seriously. I want to show you. Look at that. Is perfectly cooked, guys. This is why we sear both sides. Come on. Look what we did, guys. This, like, I haven't even tasted it and I'm so excited. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm just gonna taste it. I know it's good. That is so perfect. I'm telling you guys, the reason why they charge so much is because of butter. You add butter to the inside of your meat, you get a perfect sear, you work on those details of cooking, and you got you a winner pork chop dinner. Oh my God, this is so good. Sorry. That is the bomb. Do you guys make this? Let me know what happens when you make this. This is like, remember the chicken pinwheels? Go back and watch that show. This is similar to that. This is what seals the deal for anything. Make this. I hope you were inspired. In the Kitchen with Dominique. Subscribe to this channel. Like it, share it. Get inspired. You guys gotta go. I gotta eat. Bye-bye.